What is up, guys? Happy Friday. Welcome to virtual Redban number 644, Quest 3. That's right. Of course, just like I thought, Meta announced their brand new Quest 3 yesterday and also a bunch of games, a year's worth of games they announced. Because it's like, Apple's about to release their new headset Tuesday. They're like, we have to ruin their fun. We have to confuse everybody by announcing a new headset. So of course they did that right before Apple's announcement of their headset, which is supposed to be announced next Tuesday. Anyways, I'm having my first drink of the night. A happy Friday to you guys. Cheers to you guys if you are having a little adult beverage. Death Squad mug. Death Squad mug. If you want to get a Death Squad mug, you know where to go, right? Do you? Do you really? Do you? Of course, you just go to deathsquad.tv. There it is right there, the original website, the original bad boy of the internet. Deathsquad.tv has not only, if you at the very top, if you click on Shop Squad, that will take you to the merchandise of the Death Squad universe, including shirts, hats, and mugs, and new hats coming out next week. It is almost here. I should get them Monday or Tuesday, it looks like. So look out for new hats next week. Get your mugs, like this green Death Squad mug ad. You go to shopsquad.tv or deathsquad.tv. At Death Squad, you can also find every past episode of Kill Tony. Kill Tony's 10th anniversary show is next Saturday. And we just announced that you can watch it, live stream it at momenthouse.co/killtony. Or just go to momenthouse, all one word, .co. And you'll find all the information there. We'll be streaming it live. So if you miss the old days of Kill Tony being live, you'll be able to watch it live. And it's not being filmed by me. So it's probably going to be awesome. It's probably going to be filmed like a TV show or something. Hopefully they just have killer equipment. I don't think we've used Moment House ever before. Maybe we have. I don't know. Moment House is like a big deal. So what do the big guys use? Anyways, go to momenthouse.co. And for every episode, including this past episode of Brian Holtzman and Ian Edwards 611, Kill Tony, you can go right here, get all the past episodes. You could also click on the YouTubes for Kill Tony or Redban, which you're already watching. Or you can click on Sunset Strip Comedy Club right here. That's right, I own a comedy club. Last night we had an amazing secret show. We had about 15 comedians on last night. It was fucking badass. Brian Holtzman closed out the show, fresh off his new comedy special. If you haven't checked it out, Brian Holtzman has a comedy special on YouTube. It's out right now. It's free. I don't know. Check that out. But anyways, he killed it last night. It was an awesome show. Also had a lot of friends from out of town, including Rachel Wolfson, who you might know her from the latest Jackass movie. Matt Edgar was in town. Feng Chao. All my LA friends were in town last night. And my Jamar Neighbors. Oh, if you haven't seen Jamar Neighbors, is another one. If you haven't seen his comedy special, check that out. Jamar Neighbors. Hilarious motherfucker. We just had a killer. Casey Rocket was there. We just had a killer show last night. Anyways, there's killer shows every day, including tomorrow. You got Pure Fun Comedy at 7 o'clock. And the Sunset Strip Showcase tomorrow's at 10:30. A lot of fun people on that show, too, that I know of. So check out those shows. And then later this week, we have a bunch of stuff, including Casey Rocket has this new show with Darian Irwin. Both of these guys you might remember from Kill Tony, where they do this thing, though, where they watch a movie and they pretty much just riff and roast and dub over the movie and mocking the movie. And it's kind of like what's that old show called, Mystery Science Theater? It's kind of like that. But anyways, check it out. Roast Battles Wednesday, and of course Secret Show every single Thursday. So check it out, sunsetstripatx.com, or you could just go to deathsquad.tv and click on the Sunset Strip right there. And here's my P.O. box right here. And you could also send me, P.O. box or email. I got 2 packages in today. I was notified. So I have to go pick those up hopefully tomorrow. So look for me opening your guys' packages very soon, at least 2 of them. There we go. And this is a fun episode because not only do we have some interesting things to talk about, but I also got a drunk purchase today. Really drunk purchase. It's a fun one though. It's not one that I'm regretting really. So I'll show you about that drunk purchase in a sec. But I also got, you guys know, you've been watching, I collect all these little mini arcade cabinets from a company called New Wave. Well, today I got one of two. You guys might remember this from the other day. I got the boombox, the mini boombox. That's right. Check out this package too. This is the Slick Rick edition. This is also in collaboration not only with Slick Rick, but also the artist that made this drawing. He is actually a friend of mine. He lives here in Austin, Texas now. He does all the famous like DJ artwork you might have seen, where they all look melty. He has like this famous one he does where it looks where it's people spinning and stuff. But it's a combination. There he is. It's a combination between Slick Rick and him and New Wave, and they pretty much what they did is they took a actual very popular, I think it was a Casio, a very popular boombox. Back in the day, boomboxes were the fucking shit. Like you'd have your little boombox, you put it on your shoulder, you put it on the ground next to your cardboard boxes so you could break dance. Well, this was actually a Slick Rick version of a famous boombox. And man, just take a look at this. This is all decked out. It even has this magnetic, like Slick Rick thing that you could take off or put back on. It has all this extra stuff. Even has a handle that, like, just like the original one, like it slowly falls down. Ooh. Just like their arcade machines, super high quality. And of course, we have the smallest, tiniest little antennas I've ever seen. And they do pull out, but they're so small and fragile feeling, like, because they're so thin. It does have a radio, a working radio. You can also, let's see if I can turn it on for you guys. I don't know if I've charged it up or not.
Power on.
Power on.
Bluetooth mode.
No, I don't want Bluetooth mode.
Radio mode.
But look, it even has like a light up radio and a dial. I guess I'll put my little antennas up then. I don't want to extend my antennas. There we go. And it also, of course, has Bluetooth and shit like that. So you can use it as an MP3 boombox. And it's really loud. And I'm not going to blow you guys out. But it also has, look at this, it has a little, this thing is a little stuck though. I don't know if I should, let me try to get this open. It has, this is what I thought was cool. Has a little tape deck. Now it doesn't work. That would have been cool if they used like mini tapes, but like it actually comes, like this one comes with a little Slick Rick, little cassette tape they just put in there. Just to add to the realism of it. It also comes with a bunch of little accessories and stuff like that, including more of these like magnets and stuff that you can put on. But that little cassette tape came in a legit little, I don't know, you guys can probably see this at all, but it came in a little cassette tape and it's exactly like the original Slick Rick cassette. It's just very small. So it even comes with a small, I mean, unnecessary, of course, just like New Wave just goes above and beyond. Anyways, I thought this was cool. I have the original. There's also another version of these that I also ordered, but I guess that is coming Monday. I don't know why. I ordered it at the same time, and
Peace.
they just said power off. Peace. But But what's cool about it, I wasn't even going to get this. I only was collecting the arcades, but I was such a fan of their work that I was on their website, and you might have seen me talk about this the other day. You have 2 hours, 2 days, and 20 hours. All the boom boxes are on sale. Like the one I got, I just showed you, it's almost 50% off right now. They're trying to get rid of them, I guess. But it's $119. It's usually $200 on Amazon. It's still $200. They also have a mini version of it, which fits in your hand. Here's the original one. That's not the Slick Rick version. This boombox was so popular when I was younger. I completely remember this one. And if you look at the actual boombox, like the real one, it's exactly. I mean, it is to the T, exactly the same. So if you have like a little office desk or something like that you want to have a little speaker on it, how cool would this be to have your little boombox speaker, Bluetooth speaker? It has a battery. You could also just plug it into the wall. I think it's just a regular USB type thing. But I thought this was cool. And just like the little details, like the radio, having a working radio. Like I don't have a working radio. I realized that the other day, like in my house, I don't have a radio. Like my alarm clocks are all like Alexas and shit. So I was like, hey, it'd be fun just to have a little radio, for emergencies, like tornadoes and stuff. But yeah, there you go. Check it out, New Wave Toys. Not a sponsor, should be, as much as I've been fucking talking about New Wave. I just like that their logo is very close to the Sunset Strip logo. It's like meant to be. It's that retro 90s or 80s shit that was popular about 5 years ago. So yeah, there you go. Check that out. newwavetoys.com. That sale goes on again for 2 hours or 2 days and 20 hours, I guess, like that. Now let's talk about my drunk purchase. No, that wasn't a drunk purchase. That's actually just kind of cool, I think. How big was the original? The big original was about this big. It was pretty big. It was one of the ones, the more popular ones. I never had that one. I had one very similar to it. I forget what brand mine was. I also had like very poor versions of boom boxes because I grew up pretty poor when those were popular. So I had like a Radio Shack one. I don't even know if it was a Radio Shack or whatever Radio Shack's company was. But I did end up having one really nice one. It was a double cassette player though, so I can make my own tapes. I wish I still had it, man. That's one of those things that you like sold it at a garage sale. And you're like, God, throw that stupid boombox away. Why do I have CDs now? Why do I want that dumb thing? But now I just I crave it. I wish I had it. I wish I had all my old toys. Don't you? And speaking of toys, this next thing that I'm going to show you, this is the drunk purchase. This was a pretty drunk purchase. Where should I start on this? This is not a cheap drunk purchase either. I am having some second thoughts on this one. So, it's a pretty bad drunk purchase when I'm thinking about maybe returning it. I don't know. I say return it just because it's pretty ridiculous. So I met this super talented, amazingly, just crazy talented, I guess you would call her a DJ. Not, what would you call her? A musician. Electronic musician. And she's pretty popular, pretty famous on YouTube and Twitter or whatever. What am I? She's popular online, and her name is Neon Vines, and she has a very good YouTube page. I highly recommend it. She's one of those people that just plays a bunch of samples and loops them, kind of like that Mark guy that's really popular, and he just makes a whole song by looping and doing all these weird things. But she takes it to the next level of talent. Anyways, I hung out with her Monday. She came to Kill Tony, and afterwards we were hanging out at Mitzi's, and I was just talking to her, and she was talking about how she's a musician, and I was just like, oh, I can't wait to watch you. So right when I got on the way home in the Uber, I looked her up, and fuck, I probably just watched Every single one of her videos. I'm now like a fanboy of her. Like I went home, I'm like texting her like, "Oh my god, I can't believe that you." Like it's amazing. There's something cool about when somebody you see somebody's talent. Like I didn't even know when she was saying that she was a musician. I had no idea. You know. Yeah, I'm kind of glad I didn't look at her music while I was there because I would have been just like being a fanboy pretty much. But her name's Neon Vines. Let's take a look at one of her videos. I just picked a random one. But anyways, see this keyboard on the top? It's unlike anything I've ever seen before. And that's what I kept on thinking when I saw her. Let's take a little listen to hers. It's called Lay Low, Neon Vines. I want to just, you guys have to go check her out on YouTube. But she has a lot of cool things, including, I thought this was just next level amazing. She redid Beat It. Check this out. And she has a mini version of that keyboard. And I don't want to get copyright because it's too close to it, but
They told him, "Don't you ever come around here. Don't wanna see your face, you better disappear." The fire's
anyways, I was just, you could just imagine how insane it is. You hang out with somebody and then you watch her videos and you're just like, what the fuck kind of talent is this? This is insane.
break me. I'm too weak. Save me from my sleep. I want you so bad, and you know this.
I mean, just how fucking cool is this? How cool is this?
Dig it on, don't matter. Dig it on, don't matter.
Look at all these different toys she has, though. Like she has these little drum kits, these books. But the thing I was being amazed by is that keyboard. Now, I don't know how to play piano. I don't know how to play keyboard, but my whole life I've played keyboards and I've had keyboards. And my last keyboard I got was a MIDI keyboard, and it's really old right now. And I don't even think it works anymore. And so I've been kind of like, especially working on Kill Tony and John Keys, who's just one of the most amazing. What is that slap thing she has there? What are those? Hold on, I'm gonna see what that slap thing. Does that slap thing make any noise when she just slaps it?
Nowhere not to hide.
That's crazy. But I kept on seeing her play this keyboard, and the thing is, I went home and I was like, "What is this keyboard?" And I was drunk, and I was looking at videos about this keyboard, and it's 5D. Like the thing is like rubber, and you could take it and you could like push harder or softer. You could drag it, like you could drag it to the left, to the right. And I was like, man, even if you don't know how to play keyboard, this fucking thing, this keyboard is just next level. Like I just want to like, this seems just like something fun where I just want to fuck around, smoke some green tea, and just sit there and just trip out on this keyboard. And so I found the keyboard. It is called a Seaboard Rise 2. It is expensive. It's $1,400. This is actually pretty new. I think the one that she's using, I don't know if it's a 2, but this just came out like 7 months ago. And now, sure, when I saw that price, I was like, that's too much money. I don't know how to play keyboard. But the more I sat up and watched like hours of videos of people playing this keyboard and using this keyboard. Let's see what they have a little introduction here. Hold on. I'm still playing this. See what he's doing? being able to like bend sound like that, like pushing a button that's a guitar, and if you wiggle your finger around, or it's like going, so you're almost doing like a different way of keyboard. Like I could sit there, and I was playing with an electric guitar downstairs earlier, and playing with it, and I was just sitting there going, and it sounded like I was strumming it, and like, dude, it is fun. It is actually this is something where sure it is a pretty ridiculous idea to buy this if you especially don't if you know how to play a keyboard, but it is a little bit different where it's almost like see this I could show you a video. See he's gliding. See it? Let's check this slide out. The next video slide. Look, he's just sliding his finger up and down. Now he's sliding two fingers. Let's try see what this lift is. And that's another thing, like if you push harder, like if you push first and then you start pushing really hard, you're actually changing the sound that way too by pushing it hard or up, or if you strum left and right, like it's crazy. Yeah, so there you go. Here's an example also, playing a saxophone. I mean, because now he can like change the pitch and stuff. So, just by doing his fingers different. Here's a cello. What's that? What was that? Isn't that crazy? So yeah, it's a lot. Like this is absolutely not something that you can just buy and master, especially learning programs that I've, like these programs that it comes with and stuff like that. It's like I have never used them before, and I've never done this stuff before to this level. So it's definitely something where I think there's definitely a learning curve, but you can also just plug it in, download this program, and it starts working immediately. It's like it's pretty fun, and I think it's definitely something that it's good for people that want to just fuck around, and and I think it's different because of the way it is, like even if you don't know how to play keyboard too much, but just experimenting with sound, and I think it's kind of cool, and that's kind of what I'm using it for. I'm not using it to play piano on it. I am one of those people though that like if in past songs like I'll learn how to play something and I'll try to learn to play it, keep on playing this like over and over again, record it, and then try to learn how to play something else. But if you told me like, hey, now sit down and play this all together, I'm like, that's not what I'm doing. I'm using it different than like somebody buying like a keyboard and stuff like that. This tech has been around forever, for sure. It's not new, for sure. But putting it in something that's so nice like this is new. It's pretty much a rubber keyboard that you can slide your fingers on. That's definitely different. Anyway, so that's a drunk purchase. I did put on my Instagram the first time. I just recorded the first time me using it. And so this is not me playing a song or anything. This is me literally using it for the first time. And you can choose all these different sound effects. I just choose it, like I just click to the next one, which, the different sounds. So, yeah, there you go. Just thought I would show that. I thought it was cool. That was a drunk purchase, but I think it's a pretty decent drunk purchase. What do you guys think? Also, follow Neon Vine. She's the one that is responsible for this drunk purchase. And you might hear of her more in the future. Hopefully, she will be performing soon at the Sunset Strip. Maybe. We'll see. There we go. Okay, guys. Now let's get to the actual topic of today's virtual Redban. Now, like I said, Apple is releasing their new... you know what? I'm going to take it before I even get into it. How are you guys doing in the chat? You guys like that thing? Oh, Redban, if you buy this keyboard, test out Zebrafy 3 UHE for free. Okay, I'll check it out. Yeah, actually, I talked to Duncan Trussell, who's a huge fan of all that stuff. And he recommended me a bunch of things to try out, including Pigments 3. He said that was amazing. And something called Vocoder V. He's super excited that I got it because he loves all this stuff. That's just his whole life. He also, he does amazing shit with all his stuff. And he's been doing it for a while, so I kind of feel like I just want to like get into it and make this like a little hobby, just playing around on this keyboard and trying to make some cool stuff out of it. Maybe make a new song. I haven't made a new song in like 10 years, right? I don't remember what my last song was. Probably Olive Garden Butthole, and that was like at least 10 years ago. Redban, you should carry pirate water at sunset. What's pirate water? An expensive toy. So a lot of you guys think it's pretty cool. This actually looks like a good purchase. I mean, it kind of is, right? Kind of is. Kind of. A little. My roommate had an early model of this type of keyboard years ago. They're pretty cool, but take some getting used to. Yeah. Definitely taking some getting used to for sure. Oh, shit. Thanks for the tip, Ice Island. Thank you, buddy. Yeah. It's definitely a cool piece of tech. Yeah, I mean, I always love doing that kind of stuff. You know, I like fucking around in music. I love fucking around in like electronic music because it's really easy to get something that you like the sound of and then, you know, repeating it. And, you know, I just always liked the idea of building a song, kind of like you're building like you're putting together something instead of, you know, having talent, where being able to just be a musician and just sit there and go and just go crazy, but like slowly putting together pieces of a song, kind of like a Lego, you know. I mean, I always did music growing up, like playing trumpet. I actually took keyboard lessons for a few years, took piano lessons. I don't remember any of it. Trumpet lessons, don't remember any of it. It's funny, all that shit went away. I blame college and the Grateful Dead, but all that shit went away. I bought a trumpet recently. Actually, it was, you know, not too recently, but I don't remember any of that. I could still play, like make a sound out of it, but I don't remember any of the notes or songs or anything. It's pretty crazy. Yeah. But I've always been a fan of just fucking around with, you know, when it comes to art and music, just, you know, having some fun. All right, guys, let's talk about it. So Meta did exactly what I thought they were going to do. They pretty much announced the Quest 3, and it's not coming out until the fall. But the good news is that it's going to start at $500, which is pretty fucking good. Cheap. That's a good price point. I like how they're sticking to their guns. I mean, even though they raised the Quest $100, you know, which was kind of weird that they did that. You know, like they raised the Quest 2 $100 like 6 months after it already came out. And it's, you know, they said something like, you know, supply and demand issues, like, you know, shit's getting more expensive, which I get. I mean, it was super cheap to begin with. $500 is a fine price. It's a lot of hardware. It's a lot of cool tech for $500. And at least they kept it at $500. And, you know, from what they announced, it seems like a pretty good deal. But they definitely are doing this, and they're making it this price because Apple's about to release their VR for what people are thinking is going to be about $2,000. So I think they announced this early just to kind of take the blow off of Apple's announcement so that they can look like the good guy, like, hey, we have a better VR headset for $500. You know, I think I mean, Apple's going, you know, this is putting a lot of stress on Apple. I think it's a good move on Meta. Let's take a look at the trailer real quick and talk about what they announced. This is the Quest 3 reveal trailer. Here we go. Let me just get it ready. Let me get it here. Yeah, let me get it here. Make it a little big. I'll get my shit a little small. I'll get small for you. Here we go.
Bump it up another level, like only you can do. Switch it up. Switch it up. Switch it up like. Switch it up like. Switch it up like. Switch it up. Switch it up like. Switch it up like. Switch it up like. Switch it up. Switch it up like. Switch it up like. Make your move. Go ahead. Switch it up. What you gonna do with the power? What you gonna do with it? What you gonna do with it? What you gonna do with the power? What you gonna do with it? What you gonna do? What you gonna do with the power? What you gonna do with it? What you gonna do with it? What you gonna do with the power? You gon' go ahead. Switch it up. 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 Hello, about to be a good time. Switch it up, switch it up. Switch it up. Switch it up, like, make it move, go ahead. Switch it up.
I'm going to say right now that that is a very good trailer or a good preview. And it was very smart of them to release this right before Apple is about to release theirs, because there's a lot of things to take away for it. Like it's $500, it's $499. They also had at one point choose from over 400 games or something like that, 500 titles. Yeah, they've been out for a while. 500 title plus titles. When Apple comes out, they're not going to have 500 plus Apple title. You know what I mean? So this was definitely a blow into Apple's big party that they're going to have next week. I don't think Apple's worried about it. I thought it was interesting that they said double the GPU processing power, and they just show a generic Snapdragon image here. It doesn't say what the Snapdragon is, but they're saying below here, graphics performance of next gen Snapdragon chip is versus the Meta Quest 2 chip. So they're just saying it's a next gen chip. They're not telling you what the chip is yet because it hasn't been made yet. So this might be bullshit. Double the power. It is slimmer though. Take a look at that. I do like that. That is a lot slimmer looking. The look of it's nice. A different head strap on the top. It looks like it's a brawl now for some reason. I don't know if that was necessary. The front has those 3 weird things in the front. Looks like there's 2 cameras in the front, 1 and 2. I don't think there's anything in the middle. I don't know what's below here or not. Well, let's take a look at what is here. Meta just announced the Quest 3 shipping this fall, starting at $500 for the 128 gig model. The company revealed the headset's design and key features this morning. It has a 40% slimmer optic profile, Meta's highest resolution display yet, and a next-gen Snapdragon chipset with more than twice the graphics performance. Anyways, Meta says it's going to have a higher storage option for Quest 3. Anyways, Oculus Go, Quest, Rift S, and Quest 2 all use the same lenses, but last year, Meta announced its new Pancake lenses in Quest Pro. Pancake lenses support smaller panels at a closer distance, and that's why it's gotten smaller. Quest 3 uses those lenses, and that's the reason why it's smaller. It's going to be 25% better sharpness in the center and 50% better at the edges, so it's going to look a lot better. Quest Pro has slightly a wider view than the Quest 2, so this might be the case for the Quest 3 as well, given the same lenses. However, this would depend on other currently unknown factors. We don't know the field of view, which I've always said is one of the most important things, in my opinion, is how wide is the headset. So when you have it on, it might look good, but if you have like a very small field of view, then you're like, I feel like I'm in a box. But then if you have it like over here, you know, kind of feels better. So the wider, the better. We don't know what it is. It's probably going to be just like the Quest Pro. That's what they're saying. Anyways, it's also going to feature a high-res color pass-through mixed reality thanks to its dual 4-megapixel RGB cameras. Meta says this delivers 10 times more pixels and pass-through than the Quest 2. That's good, because the Quest 2's pass-through ain't good. The headset will also feature a depth sensor, which is a more accurate representation of your play space. That's weird, because this depth sensor was supposed to be in the Quest Pro, you know, like the $2,000 headset or whatever, $1,500 headset. But they pulled it out at the last minute. I think supply parts issues, maybe. Kind of sucks that it's not in there. It was supposed to be in there, and they took it out at the last second. And now the Quest 3, a $500 headset, has it. Meta says that will deliver 10 times more pixels and pass-through than the Quest. We already said that. Depth sensor is what I'm saying. Anyways, Meta says this lets you seamlessly blend your physical world with the virtual one and go beyond today's mixed reality by intelligently understanding and responding to objects in your physical space. They also have new controllers, these new touch controllers. and they, these look a lot better. These also look kind of like the Quest Pro controllers, and which I have feelings about. I'd rather, like, these don't look like they have batteries. You could just put batteries in them. Hopefully they do. I'd rather be able to just throw some AA batteries in these, where the Quest Pro controllers, you had to charge and they only lasted like 5 hours or something. I want to be able to put batteries in it. That's one thing I liked about the Quest, or I like about the Quest 2, is that the controllers allow you to play double, or just put regular batteries in them. So, hold on. Let me get my green tea real quick. All right, Christopher Hayden. I'll have some green tea with you. Seems like a bad idea, but... Oop. So yeah, the controllers look pretty cool, pretty much like what the Quest Pro controllers were, which is a good thing, I guess. Anyways, while Meta revealed the Quest 3 today, it says it will have a lot more to share about the headset on September 27th. So they really rushed this announcement out for sure, just because Apple was about to release their headset. And they were like, even though this is, months away from not being finalized, we don't even know what Snapdragon processor this is going to be. They're probably going to have a bunch of other things to share. And I bet you there's going to be some things maybe they even take out. I wonder if that depth sensor is going to stay in there. That's going to be interesting. How does this have a depth sensor and like not the Quest Pro? That's insane. How'd they take that out? That's insane. Anyways, Zuckerberg had decided to reveal it today rather than hold off closer to launch because of Apple's announcement, of course. Apple's device will be more expensive, supposedly be priced around $3,000. Wow, it's gone up since a lot of people. I guess they're thinking that the new Apple headset is going to be like $3,000. That's a little high. I think $3,000 is a little high. I mean, $2,000 is pretty fucking high, but that's like Apple tax and shit. I don't know. Anyways, there you go. We won't know more until September. Are you guys going to get it? I mean, I know a lot of people have been asking me, should they buy a Quest 2 right now? And I would probably say, no, don't buy a Quest 2 right now. You just got to wait it out. Just go borrow your friend's Quest 2. If you know a friend that has a Quest 2, he probably doesn't use it much. You got to know somebody. You could probably buy a used Quest 2 also. Pretty cheap. Maybe buy a used one. Go on eBay. But I wouldn't buy a Quest 2 right now. This Quest 3 is probably going to be pretty legit in September. I would also just wait to see what Apple's thing is. And obviously it's going to be a lot more money. But what if it's worth it? What if they just blow us all out of the water of how cool this thing is going to be? I don't know. So anyways, there you go. There's the Quest. They also announced a year's worth of games. They had a whole thing about all the games. They pretty much said these are the games coming to the Quest in the next year. Yes, a year. And they showed us a bunch of games. And I watched this press conference thing live. And I'm going to tell you right now, I was not impressed with a lot of what was announced. All these games, I mean, I guess what the thing that's really bugging me is like when you look at the PlayStation VR, or if you look at PC VR, which is what I use, there's a huge difference in graphics. And while these graphics, like this screenshot we're looking at right now, looks fine, but look at the shadows. The shadows just don't, the shadows and the lighting don't look realistic, which makes it look cheaper. And I think that's the biggest problem with the Quest. Quest games. I am not a fan of the graphics. I don't like, they need like NVIDIA ray tracing. They need all that shit. But it's hard to do that because it's pretty much a cell phone processor, right? So hopefully the Quest 3 changes all that. But there was one game, and we'll look at some of these games. There was one game that they announced that kind of took me off guard. I am a huge Dreamcast fanatic. I think Dreamcast and TurboGrafx are two of my favorite systems ever released. I love TurboGrafx and I love fucking Dreamcast. I thought it was killed off early, and it really made me sad because I thought Dreamcast was amazing. And one of the games that was very unique to the Dreamcast, and it was also an arcade game, I believe, was just announced for the Quest. So this is probably the best news or the best game that I saw coming out, and it makes so much sense. This game makes so much sense for VR. Yes. You know what? I'm not even going to give it away. Just watch this trailer.
Are you ready?
If you don't know what this game is, I get it. You're probably like, I don't get why you just built this game up so much. But it's an old, look, Sega. Guys, let's just all give a shout out to Sega and the Dreamcast. That was a huge Dreamcast game when that came out. And it was actually pretty popular when it came out. And it actually felt like that series had died. And I like when companies just out of nowhere reboot a series, and the fact that Sega is getting into VR like that is actually pretty fucking awesome. So I am all for it. That's Samba de Amigo. It's coming fall of 2023 on the Quest. Sweet, sweet Jesus. All right, let's look at a few of the other games just for real quick. I don't remember anything else being that amazing. We've seen a lot of these trailers too, for the most part. Like Little Cities, yeah, stuff like that. I Expect You to Die 3. There was a few that I don't remember watching this one. I'm not a fan of Stranger Things. I'm not a Stranger Things-aholic or whatever they call them. But I've watched enough of it to know kind of the basic idea. So let's see this. This is Stranger Things VR coming to the Quest 2 and 3 and Pro.
I saw a means to realize my potential, to transcend the human form, to become the predator I was always born to be.
Wow. That looked good. I mean, but there's also a point of me when I watch a trailer, I'm like, was that a good trailer or was it just really loud and it had that typical like trailer music like that kind of noise, like, could make anything sound like amazing, right? You know, so I almost want to rewatch that trailer, but with like the happy birthday song. You know, like, would that make it not seem as cool? You know? I don't know. So there you go, Stranger Things coming this year. Attack on Titan. This is another one I don't think I must have like zoned out a lot. Because I don't remember this one at all. Let's take a look at Attack on Titan. These are pre-rendered animations. It's not even real. It's just like very VR chat. What the fuck? That's cool, but it's also very VR chat. That's like the kind of shit we play in VR chat. What you guys just watched, pretty much we do that shit right now. It's just like the Spider-Man world almost. Yeah. That looked okay. I'm not a Attack on Titans guy. I don't know anything about it. So, yeah. Anyways, there's a whole list here. A lot of these games we've either already talked about, or other than what we've watched, nothing really did anything for me, including the new Ghostbuster video. Like, the new Ghostbuster looks so stupid. I think we've already watched this before also, which kind of sucks. Yeah, we've already watched this trailer already before. And it sucks because I think last time I said I don't like how they're taking the Ghostbusters and they're just like redoing like the history of the Ghostbusters. Like, oh, there's all these new kids in it. Like, the new kid Ghostbuster movie I thought was pretty decent. Like, I was like, oh, you know, that was a good reboot. But I don't like how like their video game side of it, they're just kind of like who just doing
Tapped cauldron.
They're just doing their own thing. Like, they're like showing people that are in Ghostbusters at all. Like, they're just adding characters left and right. Anyways, let's take a look at it. I did not like this at all. I thought this looked really fucking stupid, and I like Ghostbusters, which sucks. They should have just made it cool. Just make a recreation of the original movie. Like, super realistic, though, or something. I don't know. Stop.
You think you know the whole story of the Ghostbusters. Well, you don't know my story. 1984. My research brought me to Columbia University, where I studied under the Ghostbusters. They dismissed my work, called it dangerous. But in San Francisco, I can show them, with its untapped cauldron of the undead. Where others saw fear, I saw subjects. How could I know my research would stir a dormant evil? The Ghost Lord. Alcatraz. Tortured souls, whose guilt I could drain and drain again. Their pain, the price of progress. My dear assistant Katie understands. Soon everyone will understand. Especially you, Ghostbusters, with your silly parlor tricks. You will see the progress I have made. Know the power I have harnessed. You will realize that I, Gustav Hookfather, am the genius who gave the world endless clean energy. The Ghost Lord is coming. What have I brought upon the world? The time of the Ghost Lord is here.
Bam, bam, copyright. Not worth it. Ooh. Yeah. I mean, Not for me. Not for me. I don't like adding new ghosts to the lure. No, dude. Unless you have the Marshmallow Man and Slimer in there, and the old librarian lady, and the little gargoyle guys, and the one chick. Get out of here. Unless Sigourney Weaver is floating above my bed and I'm jerking off, I don't want it. Other than that, nothing really. I think that we've already watched this before. This was one that I did like, but I think we've already watched this also. There's a game called No More Rainbows that's coming out, and it's just adorable. It's pretty much you are gay bashing, I guess. And this is a gay bashing game. It's called No More Rainbows. It's not really a gay bashing game, but I mean, you know, it's whatever you want it to be. Happy Pride
Long
Month.
have I guarded this peaceful kingdom, protecting the barrier between darkness and light. But invaders from another world threaten to take my home. I won't let them.
I like this game. Jesus Christ, this is so amazing. Now that's a good one, guys. I love it. I think that's amazing. It's awesome. It's kind of like that shit we were talking about recently where I wish there was a zombie game where you're like, you know, it was like a positive zombie game. Remember we talked about that like 5 episodes ago? Where like, I don't know, you kill somebody and I forget what happened. They danced or something instead of bled or... What was it? I don't even remember. But it's the idea of just destroying cute and cuddly things. And I also like... Oh, come on! I also like the fact that when you kill them and shit, they burst into like sprinkles and shit. Watch when he kills these people. Watch. Watch right here. See that? They turned into like sprinkles. I fucking love that. This game looks fun. I love the graphic style. See, this is a way to do games. You can't be too serious. You can't make it like you're trying to make a Call of Duty when you have that kind of limitations. You got to make games like this where it's fun and you like that's what Nintendo is so good for. Nintendo constantly always releases systems that are way slower and not as good as like Xbox and PlayStation. They've always kind of done that. They've always released weaker machines, and it's because they really take advantage of that chip. They know their chip and they know what power they have. That's why they make things that look cute and adorable and not realistic. When was the last time Nintendo made an ultra realistic game? Never, ever. Maybe like Dr. Mario was the closest one because he was a doctor. I have no idea. He had a job. But no, that's why Nintendo's like, hey, we use what we have, you know? It's like they're very efficient. Where Microsoft and Sony is just kind of like, let's bet the farm, go deep. That's why Sony and Xbox don't have as much adorable graphics games as like Nintendo. Nintendo has fucking Kirby, it's got fucking Toad, it's got fucking Luigi, got Mario. What's those little God, I love that game so much. What's that little pixel one where you play like bugs? Oh my God, what's it called? Pikmin? Oh, Pikmin. Come on. Pikmin's like such a great game. All right, I'm just going to pick a random one because all of them pretty much suck. If you want to watch all of them, you can go to vrscout.com. He has a list, or they have a list. She has a list. It has a list. They have a list at VR Scout that has all the games pretty much released. Of course, they were too lazy to put all the fucking trailers in there. But let's just take this other this last one, then we'll go into virtual reality. Okay, this is called Death Game Hotel. What's this? Huh. You know what this looks like just from looking at it? I think this is like a role-playing. What is it called? One of those role-playing games where it's like a romantic. It's a lot of reading, but this is pretty popular. All right, let's take a look. It's called Death Game Hotel. Then we'll go into virtual reality. Last one. Also looks very VR chatty. What the fuck? Yeah, this is so VR chat. This is literally, this game reminds me so much of like all the stuff that we do every single night in VR chat. Doesn't this look like VR chat? This is like when they play like the drawing game. They play that like drawing game where they draw like the what the fuck? What is going on here? Okay, that was crazy. It's by Oculus? Well, that one was even by Oculus and it was that crazy. What is going on? Well, guys, I'll tell you what's going on. This is the part where I get romantic. You know, a lot of people here might be new. And if you're new, please do me a big favor. Big favor. A good old big favor. At this time, if you could possibly just subscribe. And if you don't want to subscribe, at least hit that like button. You know, that shit's free. You don't even have to let anyone know. You can just click that like button for me. That'd be the best thing that ever happened to me. I'm gonna cry right now. It might sound like I'm crying. You want to hear my favorite kind of sound to cry? I'll tell you my favorite kind of sound. Now imagine this. You're behind like I don't know. Let's just think for a second while I find the right color of what I'm doing. I don't know if you know what that means. I know what it means. Okay, I think that's a good one. Imagine you are behind your rent and a 7-Eleven. A 7-Eleven in Vegas. And I'm not talking the good part of Vegas. I'm talking about, imagine you are behind a 7-Eleven. What the fuck? And Vegas, like the outskirts. Like you are by, not like this. Do you guys know there's this part of Vegas where it is all like shut down. Like all these people in Vegas bought all these like shitty hotels because there was so much like illegal activity going on, and just like kind of brought a lot of crime and shit into the city. So all these like rich people in Vegas just bought all the hotels, and they're just letting them sit there and fucking fall apart. They closed them all down. They don't want them to open again. You know what I mean? Like, they're fine with not ever opening again. So they just bought them all. And they're just letting them die. But they made it like, redid all like the neon signs and shit so that they look like they're nice, or they just fit the Vegas vibe, I guess. But it's weird. And they're not, like, a lot of people thought they were doing that because they were just going to buy and like build like a new casino. No, they were just buying it to like kick people out. Like, oh yeah, you want to like ruin in like Vegas? Well, we're just going to kick you out. We're just going to buy your fucking shit and let it fucking sit there. Well, I have no idea what I was talking about, but I guess it's just like this Vegas conspiracy that I had. The whole time, I've been really practicing my multitasking, being able to shut off what my mouth and brain is talking about while I was Photoshop. Like most of my brain was working on a Photoshop. Oh, what the fuck happened? There's like a turd in the A&L. How did that? Oh, I know how that happened. Oh, that makes it funnier. All right, so on the thumbnail I just made, you'll see like a little turd on the virtual Redban, but it's on the A and L of virtual. It looks like a turd. That was super by mistake, and I know how it happened. It was me erasing something earlier in a Photoshop, and I deleted that layer, and now it's just erased. But it makes it look like there's a turd, so that makes it funnier. Yeah, so the last 5 minutes, I've been using Photoshop and talking to you at the same time to make a thumbnail for part 2. That's right, virtual Redban's in 2 parts. You just saw the first one. The next one, I go into virtual reality. I go inside there. If you want to know what virtual reality looks like, it looks like that. It looks just like that. So in about 10 minutes, I'll be back for part 2 of Virtual Redban. And you'll see my new thumbnail on Twitter. I'm about to tweet it right now for the link for part 2. Or if you're on YouTube, just refresh the page in 10 minutes. I'll see you soon. But let's grab a drink, take a piss, walk the dog. Check out my new thumbnail that I made with a piece of poop on it. And in 10 minutes, we'll be back in virtual reality. See you soon.